Welcome back. Today, we are going to figure out exactly how to design your life to be healthy, wealthy, and phenomenal relationships. These are vital to the overall happiness of your life and the overall well-being of the environment around you, right? So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Matt Petruso. I own an insurance agency. I've done over $10 million in sales. I created financial freedom through that avenue, as well as investment in real estate. And I basically get to live my life however I want. I'm in one of my real estate properties down here in Florida. I own this property, but I also rent it out. And I'll teach you how to do that in other videos of how to live a life by investing in real estate and creating a life on your terms. So if you're interested in how to actually create a life that's healthy, right, wealthy, and full of positive, inspirational, and motivating people, then stick around and I will teach you exactly how to do this. So I learned about this and why this is vitally important because in my insurance agency, ever since I was like 22 years old, I started meeting with these senior citizens and I started to realize that every single day that I would knock on these doors, I thought I was gonna be learning all this wisdom, but the wisdom came from understanding that most people don't know that they actually have to work on health, wealth, and relationships. These are what make your life good. And the most anxious, the most unhappy, the most unsuccessful people were the ones that didn't know this and they only focused on one area or they focused on none of them, right? They didn't have good health, they didn't have good wealth, and they had poor relationships. Those are a recipe for a terrible life. So how do we actually work on our health? How do we work on our wealth? And how do we create good relationships in a systemized way that create good habits, good routines, and the people that will make your life better will naturally be attracted to you. You'll start attracting good health into your life. You'll start attracting wealth into your life. These are principles that are not talked about. And if you do these things and you do them appropriately, it's not difficult. Like life is not so complicated that most people make it out to be. Most people make out life to be so complicated that they don't even understand the next step that they're supposed to take. But life is very simple, but it is not easy. Meaning it's a little few things that you can do on a daily basis that will make your life better. But most people overcomplicate things and they make it too overcomplicated. What I'm going to do is simplify it down to really creating 3 major routines and habits throughout your day that will guarantee that you will live a healthy life, you'll live a wealthier life, and you will attract the right type of people in your life. That's all life is. And if you can create all those days that do those 3 things, you will be better than 99% of the entire population because you understand what I'm going to teach you today. So the first thing is your health, right? Like this is the most vital piece. And I think you must master your health, whether that be your mind, right? Your well-being in your head, your health, and then also your body, right? Because the mind is the engine and the body is the vehicle. And if your engine is shit and your body is shit, well, what type of life do you expect to live, right? Like you could be driving a Pinto with a terrible engine and it will take you years and years and years and be a terrible ride along the way to get a mile down the road. Versus if you have a beautiful Ferrari that has a finely tuned engine, which is your mind, and don't you think you'll get to that destination faster and won't it be more enjoyable? Won't you like the ride more, right? Like the purpose of life is to enjoy it. So your job is to build a beautiful Ferrari with a beautiful engine, whatever car it might be, right? And how you do this is to understand that your life is different than mine, right? And I'm giving this example because health can mean many, many, many different things. I am not the biggest guy on the planet. I am not, a bodybuilder. I am not this, jacked, massive guy because that's not who I am. That's not my frame. That's not what was naturally appealing to me. So I had to maybe not worry so much about what people thought about me, about being so big and strong and all this other stuff. But I liked being agile, quick, and that makes me work out and do the things that are necessary to enjoy my day of being healthy, because I'll go out and I'll do something that is enjoyable to me, versus if I went into the gym and I was struggling every day because I was trying to build this like massive body, but I didn't really like who I was, the person I was building. Well, you're not getting a positive feedback loop. So when you're talking about your health, whether it's your mind, your body, whatever it may be, you have to have a positive feedback loop. And meaning, if I do something, how do I feel about it? And can I attach that feeling every single day so I do it every single day? So like when I work out, I do things that I like, right? And I get the results that I like. So it's a double feedback loop. Versus like if I went to the gym, I hated what I was doing because it was so difficult and so, unappealing. And then on top of it, I was getting big. I didn't like the way I looked. It was like, it creates this like false, it's not a positive, it's a negative feedback loop. So like, why would I go to the gym if it hurts, right? And then on top of it, I don't actually like the way that I feel afterwards, right? Like I'm sluggish, I'm walking around. And some people like that. So like if you like being bigger and stronger and like having that big frame and not being quick and agile, great. Use that, lean into it, right? I'm telling you what I did, and this is how I created a daily habit of doing things that are a little bit more quick, more agile, and I can then create a good life because those are things that I like doing and I like getting the results. Simple as that. Same with your mind, right? Do things that are intriguing to you. Watch videos that are educational if you like them. Read books if you like reading books, right? You should strengthen your, I call it the accountant, your advisor, which is your front brain, and then your athlete. So you need to strengthen your rider, your accountant or advisor, right? You need to strengthen this by educating yourself, doing difficult things, fighting through the chaos, right? And then calming the athlete down when times of stress do come, you calm him down. But then on top of it, by doing things that are athletic and keeping yourself motivated, you strengthen him as well, but you quiet him down. So he still acts, quickly, but he acts because of the strength that you give him, but also the logical brain, your advisor, make sure he makes a proper decision along the way. So that's the first thing. So do daily things that can increase your health, increase your livelihood, because the vehicle that you want will be much better, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, what is the wealth? How can you actually increase wealth throughout your life? Well, the first thing is understanding that we have to work, right? No matter what, there has to be something you have to do. I promise you, when I retired at 30 and was didn't need any money anymore, and I took a couple weeks off and I was just like, I'm not going to do anything at all. It was probably one of the worst times of my life because I had to sit and just basically reflect on, I'm not doing anything. I have no purpose. I have no value that I'm bringing because I'm just sitting here. And I thought it was just gonna be really relaxing. But after a day of doing nothing, you're like, I'm bored. I got to do something. I got to keep busy, right? So first understand, like, you must do something, right? Is the something that you're going to be doing worth and valuable to your day, right? Like if you hate going to a job, then you should stop doing it. But you can only stop doing it when you first master the fact that you don't need as much as you think you need. Because if you get your ego involved and say, well, I have these things, I have to keep up with the Joneses, and I have to do all this stuff to make sure that other people think I'm successful, quote unquote, but internally, you're miserable and you don't actually like your life, the money means nothing. So whatever you're doing now, if you're not happy with what you're doing, save up enough money so you can basically take some time to have 6 months to a year where you can try out a bunch of stuff and you have enough money to pay for the things you actually need, which is like a roof over your head and food, right? And that's why I always suggest house hacking, because if you live in a duplex, for instance, and the other person basically pays for your living expenses, you basically only have to pay for maybe some food, right? That's the only thing that you need, right? Everything else is bullshit. So it's on your mind to say that I need these things, but you actually don't. You don't need anything beyond shelter and some food. That's it, right? So if you can house hack, then you can basically skip a lot of the levels. You can quit the shitty job you don't like and then start living and doing things that you actually do enjoy. So that's the first thing. So don't need things that you don't actually need. That's the first piece of creating wealth. Then then you can actually think deeper and start doing things that you want to do, and the wealth will continue to compound, right? But you can't start from a place of scarcity. So you must get out of I need these things to what actually do I need? Let me eliminate all the shit that I actually don't need. Then I can start thinking about how do I want my day to look like? That's how you create actual wealth financially. Stop needing stupid shit. And lastly, the relationships that you have will dictate pretty much the entire happiness vector of your life, because you can't do everything in a bubble. You need other people. People motivate you, people inspire you, or they pull you down. So what type of people do you want? Do you want the type of people that are going to motivate and inspire you, or do you want the people that are going to constantly make you feel bad for trying harder and make you want to quit? You don't want those people in your life. So if that is the case, who gives a shit if they exist in your life or not? Stop thinking that you need to keep people around in your life because you've known them for X amount of years when they only make you feel bad, right? Life is not supposed to be this hard game that you're having to beat, right? Your job is to figure out what you do want and what you don't want. Bring in the things you do want, eliminate the things you don't. And that is most important with people. I'm not saying you have to cut people out completely out of your life. You don't have to, but limit your interactions with those people. They do not bring value to you, so do not spend your time and energy wasting your value on them. My favorite phrase is you can't teach a pig to fly, and they get mad at you when you try, right? So don't try and save people. If people see what you're doing and you're acting in accordance to who you are and what you want, you will attract the people that will align with those values, and it will repel the ones that you don't. So you have to grow your mind to not give a fuck about what these other people think, right? And you will do that by doing these daily things that are in alignment with what you want. Yes, it's difficult, but it's simple. It is very, very simple. You do these three things, your life will be astronomically better than 99.9% of people in the entire world. So if you can understand that it's your job to make your life as good as possible, then you must master your daily habits for your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Stop keeping people around that bring you down. Stop doing things that you do not like to buy things that you do not actually care about to impress people that you do not like. And then lastly, stop eating and doing dumb shit that are not in alignment with what make you healthy and wealthier, right? Like, stop doing these things. It's as simple as that. Stop fighting and swimming upstream where you could be swimming downstream with good people, enjoying your life, doing fun things, keeping active, having a good mind, having tons of money. It's an easy formula, but you must master it, okay? Hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight on just 3 little things you can do every single day to bring the type of people into your life, to make more money, and to make your body and mind feel and look good, okay? Like, subscribe, comment. Follow me on Instagram if you want more of this stuff, or you want to go a little deeper, MOVMATT on Instagram, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.